Alright everyone, welcome to another episode of Brown.Girls.Are.Beautiful. What's going on right now is I'm literally at the school and I cannot turn in because last night we had like a torrential storm yesterday coming into last night. And so when I got here, there are a pile of cars, all of the people bringing their children to school, and we cannot turn in. So we had a 2-hour delay, and literally, like, I guess all the people that bring their children to school are backed up and piled up. I can't even turn into the school, so I had to call them and let them know that I'm here, but I'm not able to park, and I can't get into the school. They don't have anyone directing traffic. She said someone was here earlier directing traffic. I don't know what to say, y'all. There's nothing I can do about it. So this is what's going on here. I don't even know if you can see all those cars back there, but there are a line of cars, and I don't think there's anywhere really to park along the street. She said she really would not recommend me doing that, parking along the street. So she's aware that I'm here. She'll let them know, but yeah, I'm just stuck. I am stuck, and then there are a line of cars behind me. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, so in both directions. So this is what's going on. Hoita East Meatwalk. Today is January the 10th. Shout out to Brown Girls Are Beautiful all over the world. All right, y'all, signing out.
Oh wait, do the math. Oh, you had for 6 years. Is she right? Yeah. Basically, I just want to tell you. I want to touch your lips. People open. Do I have a family? Yeah. Yeah, she does. I have a mom, a dad, and a brother. So are you the oldest or the middle? I'm the youngest. So do they baby? I'm the baby of the family. Huh? Are you the favorite? Of course. Wait, a dimple. Jade, how long have you known me? You just now realized I have a dimple? Oh, I don't know. I'm the middle. You're the middle? I'm the sister. Like, I got one more sister and sister.
And right now we're coming back from lunch. Alright, y'all, I am in the vehicle. I am in the car and I'm headed out. This is the end of the day, and so I need to figure out, probably need to go to the grocery store, to be honest, and head out for today and finish the rest of my day off. So this is what it's like to substitute. You just never know what type of group you're going to get depending on the school and depending on, you know, the environment. Now I do want to say this. There is a difference. I'm going to say this. There is a difference that I've noticed with the melanated children. From what I experienced today, a lot of the melanated children are a bit more rambunctious, and their priorities and their focus is not where it should be, in my personal opinion. Not all, but a lot of what's going on from my observation. They really struggle with reading, and I was kind of shocked at the illiteracy rate that's taking place. It is definitely a major issue. The only way they're not really having that problem is if the parents are tending to them and taking their education seriously. And what I mean by that is reading to them at night. And I'm asking them, I ask each class, I ask children, when I find out they're having, struggling reading, struggles reading, I'm asking them, you know, do you have anyone to read to you? And a lot of them, they're saying no. People are not even taking 25 to 30 minutes to read to their own children, but yet they can buy all these fancy gadgets. It's crazy. Priorities are very, very, very backwards. If your child can't read, and when I say read, I'm not talking about sitting up here struggling over every other word. That's not reading. How do you think they're going to comprehend anything? It's about to be like an epidemic, y'all, and it's scary. It is actually freaking scary. I should probably do like a whole episode about the illiteracy rate that's going on, y'all. And our melanated children cannot afford to be illiterate. Not with what's going on in this society. Like, they're going to be to the point where they're not even going to be able to get a job. I asked one little girl, I said, what do you want to do when you get older? She said she doesn't want to be anything. That's exactly what she said. And the sad part is, she had the most beautiful eyes, and she's on a cheerleading team. Now, I feel like if my child is struggling with literacy, that's going to be the first priority, is being able to read. There are going to be no extracurricular activities until we get that taken care of. She told me she was going to basically make pillows, and she was going to get a job on Zoom. She just wants to be at home and be on Zoom. So I'm assuming that maybe her mother works from home, and maybe her mother, you know, they do these Zoom appointments and these Zoom meetings. I'm very much familiarized with working from home. I've been doing it since 2016. However, that is no excuse. And then another child was telling me no one really reads to her, but she does have an interest in reading. But she said she tries to get her older siblings to help, but they're busy and this and that. It's a bunch of excuses going on. And then she said her mother couldn't help read to her because her mother has to work, and she's a supervisor. And another girl was telling me that her mother could not afford to put her in the after school program because she has to pay for it. But I'm looking at the girl and I'm like, you have on a matching cute ensemble, your jacket, your shoes. And she was like, oh, this is my mother's jacket, which it fits the girl. She's in 3rd grade. I'm like, well, this is really cute on you. But I'm like, I know your mother buys you a lot of nice things, but your priority. And I tried to really talk with the children about how important, and these were little melanated girls, and that's why I really, really tried to stress the fact about reading. And I told this other girl, I'm like, it is not your fault that your mother has to work, that your mother is a shift supervisor, and that your mother that is not her fault. That's not this child's fault. She didn't ask to be brought into this world. And the fact that the child is illiterate, it's not the child's fault because her mother has to work. Guess what? A lot of people have to work in this world. They're rerouting my route. I should turn around. A lot of people have to work in this world. Does that mean that your child is supposed to get put on the back burner? Because it seems like a lot of people that reproduce, their children are not priorities. You think just because you buy your child a bunch of gadgets, you're being a parent. No, you're not. And that's going to be a topic of discussion because something needs to be done. It's ridiculous, and it's actually quite sickening when I go into these classrooms and I see what's going on, and it's like all the children keep coming up. I need help, I need help, I need help. And a lot of them are lazy and don't want to read. It's not like a lot of them, majority of the school is Hispanic. I'm just going to be honest. Majority of the children are immigrants. They are from another ethnic background. They are actually outperforming the melanated children when it comes to literacy and reading. And the ones that are not is because it's not their native language. They don't speak English as their native language. So they're being put in a place where they can speak the language, they can understand. They just can't read and write the language all the way properly. But when I went over some of their writing was basically better than some of the melanated children's writing. And that shouldn't be the case when this is our language. It's not our native language because we know this is a bastardized language, but there's no reason why I should have to tell children in 3rd grade that's 8 and 9 years old. You're starting a new sentence, so you capitalize the I. I is capitalized in every part of the sentence. Put a period after each of your sentences. These are things that should basically be common sense for them by now. And then they cannot spell correctly. One of the little melanated girls was starting off her sentence. She's answering a question from the paragraph, right? And don't you know, when she was answering the sentence, she said cuz, C-U-Z, and then she was going to explain why this was the correct answer. I looked at her paper, I said, no ma'am, no. First of all, this is not how we spell because. And you really don't even supposed to start off a sentence with because that's not a complete sentence. You know, I'm telling you, it's beginning to be quite embarrassing. When we were about to leave out of the class, they're rerouting me again. I need to probably turn around. When we were about to leave out of the class, of course, their group was the loudest group. You know, the melanated children's table. I told them they needed to quiet down because, you know, they're just being very loud. And somebody was like, do you know what edges are? Now, I couldn't understand what she was saying, what they were saying. I said, yes. They're like, can boys have edges? And I'm like, yes. And this was an actual discussion. So what this is telling me, I need to turn around, y'all. What this is telling me is that this is the type of nonsense that these children are being introduced to. The priority is not being placed upon reading. The priority is not being placed upon the parents going over the homework with the children. They basically just, you know, shove their children off to school and off to class, get rid of them, and think that it's supposed to be the teacher's job to do everything that the parents should be doing, because the teacher can't be with your child at home, making sure that they are practicing reading, practicing vocabulary words, flashcards, and stressing the importance of education in the household. The teacher, that's not the teacher's job. Like, you want the teacher to be basically a parent to your children because you're not all the way practicing how you should be teaching your children. I'm gonna turn around. This is ridiculous, y'all, and it is very embarrassing to say the least. You know, that our melanated children are being outperformed by the other children that are not even indigenous to this land. And I gotta say that some of these children, 2 of the boys, I actually had to call to the front office because once again, 2 of the melanated boys felt like they didn't want to do any work today. They felt like they're gonna do what they feel like doing, which is sleep in the classroom. And I'm not, first of all, I'm like, is this what they normally do? And the teacher's assistant was like, sometimes that's what they do. Like, this is what they do. And I'm like, the teacher doesn't put them out of the classroom? No. And I'm like, they wouldn't be in my class. I'm like, how do we call the front office? So I ended up calling the front office to get reinforcement. 2 melanated males showed up to that classroom and let them know that they're going to do their work, because if they don't, it's going to be a problem. Don't you know that's all it took? And they started to be more engaged. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is, if you're a female, especially melanated teacher dealing with these melanated boys and they want to back talk you and do all this stuff, we need more melanated males in the education system. That is what we really need. Boys respond differently to men, and a lot of this is because it's a lack of parenting, it's a lack of fathers in the freaking household. Y'all don't even care if you have melanated male children out here who are illiterate and barely can read, barely can write, and a lot of them can, they just don't put the effort into it. It's sickening, y'all, and it is embarrassment. And this is something that is actually at an epidemic level on a national scale, and melanated people don't even care. Y'all are more worried about Cat Williams and what he said in the Shannon Sharp interview. That's what melanated people are worried about. They're not concerned if their children can read, write, communicate properly. You don't even care what type of job your children is going to end up with. Working at McDonald's? Is that the type of career path standard you want to set for your children? because you don't want to take the time with them on an academic level. Then you probably feed them a whole bunch of nonsense, making them think they can do all this extra stuff. Oh, I'll just make pillows. I'll just do this and I'll just do that. Okay, you still if you're going to have a clientele, you still have to be able to read their names. This is no lie. I remember years ago, one of my former classmates, she was like 16 years old in the 9th grade, y'all. And I should have known why she was that age in the 9th grade. I mean, we can all figure it out. She filled out a job application for Taco Bell, and they wanted to know if she had any references. So she put the person's name down, and they wanted to know who was this person in reference to her. Don't you know she put down my neighbor, N-A-B-O-R, neighbor. That was a freaking embarrassment, because it's like you don't have any understanding of how to properly spell. It's just, y'all, I just cannot with a bunch of petty nonsense. A lot of what I would classify it as just being ignorant at this point. With all the resources we have with the internet, social media, and technology, and you mean to tell me teachers, I mean not the teachers, but you mean to tell me parents can't figure out a way to educate their children better? Flashcards are at the dollar store for $1.25. I've personally gone and bought flashcards for children that are struggling. The behavior issues are out of control. And the literacy rate is out of control, off the scale with how they are struggling. And the parents don't care. The parents don't care, but yet they're allowed to keep multiplying and reproducing. There are a select few of children, melanated children, that were doing fairly well. And you know why they were doing well? Because they had a relative that worked in the school. One of the boys, his mother's a teacher, and she was a teacher across the hallway. So he left class after class was over and went over there with her. Another girl, she can read and she can write, and that's because her grandmother works at the school. So it's parenting. It's lack of freaking parenting. And that's why we have a bunch of illiterate idiots running around in society as grown adults that can't read, can't write, can't properly speak English. And those are the ones usually causing havoc and trouble in society for the rest of the people. And I'm saying it just like that because that's what it is. Y'all, this has been an episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I might sign in a little bit later, but I have to actually go figure out what I'm going to eat. I need to go to the grocery store while it's still early and still light outside and fix something to eat. And I'll check in with y'all later. I'm just overdone and overwhelmed, and it's very discouraging. It is very discouraging to see that this stuff is going on a multinational level. It is a multitude of nonsense. But I bet you all these parents has the internet, has iPhones. The girl that couldn't really read, that's a cheerleader, she's telling me that she has an iPhone 14 though. She wants to know if she can text someone. And I'm like, not in class, not now, wait till you get on the bus. Why are you trying to text someone? You probably can't even spell what you're trying to say. And the gadgets don't make it any easier when they spell the word out for you. And sometimes they pick the incorrect word. Y'all, these children are at a loss. They almost don't even have a chance. That's how bad it is. 3rd grade, they're 8th graders, and they're 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds. They're about to be preteens, and time goes by so fast. And if you think that this is okay, it's not. It is really not. And I blame the parents. I blame the environment, and I blame whatever background these children are being raised in. You know, it's a shame that people keep having children, and you know what they all say? Oh, I didn't plan it. But you need to start planning it. You need to start thinking about how are you going to co-parent. Oh, you got a baby daddy and a baby mama. What type of SHIT is that? That is not even supposed to be normalized. Y'all should be having a family. But no, everybody they just follow along with what everyone else does, and it's not even cute. It's not. And I'm over it, y'all. I'm really over it. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what I'm gonna eat, and I'll check back in with y'all later. All right, y'all. So I got a text from one of my potential clients that I've known for a while I was at the school, and she basically was just telling me that she's going to be ready to she says she wants to, I think, rent her house out, and then she wants to make a purchase using cash. So she sent me the house that she's interested in, but of course she says she's going to want to do this by May. That house is not going to still be there, more than likely. This is January, the beginning of January, almost the middle of January. The house probably still won't be there, but I'll take a look at it. I have to give her a call back later. And one of my friends from out of state actually had called and texted me, but y'all, when you're dealing with these children, there's no way that you can really be like on your phone and taking phone calls, because it's a lot that you have to pay attention to. The most that you probably will be able to do is text when you have a little bit of time to do it. You really don't even get a lunch, to be honest. I ended up, like I said, getting a Snickers from the snack machine. Thank goodness that I had the teacher's assistant. She was excellent. So I'm going to definitely let the principal know that she was, very helpful, and let the actual teacher know what a help she is to, and a benefit she is to the school. I feel like every classroom should have at least 2 to 3 teachers assistants. And I'm not making this up by any stretch of the imagination. You need at least 2 to 3 adults in each class at almost any time. I don't know how teachers do it. Like, they barely can go to the freaking bathroom. And if you are a substitute teacher, those children are going to try you. But you gotta just let them know that you're not playing with them. You're not gonna let them just get away with anything that they think they're going to get away with. But you also have to show that you care. And of course, I got hugs again today from, the children and stuff like that. So some of them do need discipline, y'all. And don't be afraid, because sometimes discipline is showing someone that you do care about them, that you do care, and that you're not going to tolerate a bunch of nonsense, y'all. It's very busy at this time of day. So you see me looking back and forth, because like, people will speed up and hit you on purpose, intentionally. Yes, I know they will. And so that's why I don't pull out. I don't just pull out in front of traffic. I don't care if people want to beep their horn. They don't have patience to wait. That's not my issue. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can get over. They'll run you over, man. This don't make no freaking sense. It doesn't make no sense. People in this world are just so, I don't know, like, they're so inconsiderate sometimes. Even like, I remember I was on the interstate one day, and it was a taxi cab driver, a male from a foreign country. He was not indigenous to this land, I can tell you that. He was a foreigner driving a taxi cab. I needed to get over, and he made it his duty to show me that he was going to speed up and not let me over. And I'm a female. Like, I've seen a lot of foreign men, depending, I don't know what countries they're from, but like, I've seen Middle Eastern men get in front of me in the grocery line, like almost like it was a competition, like they had to hurry up and beat me to the line, beat me to the counter, so they could get to the register before me. I've seen that happen on a number of occasions. Y'all, so men ain't men. Men are not men, okay? And they are not chivalrous. There are some that will hold the door. There are some men that are men that, and it feels good as a female that a man just recognizes that you are a female and treats you that way. But when they want to talk about, oh, well, why are women this and why are women that way? Y'all, we have to be independent out here. We have to be basically have survival instincts for ourselves, because these males will run you over, take advantage of you if you let them. And I'm not saying it's all of them, because they're not, all males are not that way, but they're very selfish men out here. And it is just very sad and unfortunate what some of the world is coming to, y'all. So I think being a gentleman is like one of the attributes that's missing out from a lot of the male population. I can tell you that. I don't know if this is just Americanized culture or what. And then I can't even just say it's Americans, because like I said, I've seen foreigners act a certain type of way, and maybe this is what they're used to in their country or accustomed to. I don't know if they see a melanated female and think we don't deserve to be treated with, you know, the respect that we deserve. You know, that could be part of it, because how society pushes us and portrays us in the media, which is why I talk about so much and adamantly about being literate and being able to read and being able to do math and just doing well in school, because these melanated children, these girls, they have no idea what they're going to be up against when they get into the real world. And the parents are setting them up for failure if they think that buying them the latest gadgets, iPads, cell phones, getting their hair done, nails done, like this is really going to be something that's the most important. It is not. It is not, because who's going to be the owner of those nail salons? They're still going to be giving their money away to the foreigners. Still not going to be owning businesses. Still going to be renters, not having or owning real estate. Still, you know, just being uneducated, financially illiterate. So yeah, y'all, we are up against a lot, and unfortunately, a lot of these female baby mamas don't care. A lot of the male baby daddies don't care. I'm not saying it's all of them, because I've seen men come up to the school dropping the children off, but you can come and pick a child up and drop them off. That's still, what is that if you're not disciplining your child? If you are not coming to parent-teacher conferences, if you are not sometimes dropping into the classroom to you know, let your child know that you're not playing with them, and pay attention to their grades, go over their homework, read to them, sit down and actually go over some of their work. Some of these children be so grateful and thankful that someone even took 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to individually spend time with them, because I'm pretty sure they're not getting that at home. And it's unfortunate. Really, these children need more individual time, and teachers just don't have the time. It's almost like you either get it or you don't. And the ones that are sinking and the ones that are swimming, you can tell the difference. The ones that are getting it are the ones where you can tell their parents are taking the time, or someone in their household is taking the time with them. And the ones that are going to sink are the ones where they're not taking the time to go over their schoolwork, and everything else is a priority in that household, y'all. All right, I'm about to go to the store. The battery life is about to die on this phone, so I will check in with y'all later.